Have you ever asked why Black History Month is celebrated in February? Was it a random decision, or was there a specific reason for its timing? And why did it have to be the shortest month of the year? Well, the story goes back to Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Despite being born to illiterate parents in 1875 and having to work his way out of the coal mines in Kentucky, he eventually obtained a Ph.D. in history from Harvard University. He is the only child of former slaves in the U.S. to achieve this. Dr. Woodson turned into a prominent figure in Black history as a writer, journalist, and historian, devoting his entire life to raising awareness of African American history. He initiated the idea of Black History Week because Black children did not learn about their authentic history in primary and secondary schools. The purpose of this week was to help them recognize that Black people played an important role in the nation's development. The first celebration took place on February 7, 1926. In America, Black History Week happens in the second week of February. It was chosen for two reasons: to make things better and to follow a custom. People think that Dr. Woodson picked February because it matches the birthdays of President Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and Frederick Douglass. Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, Washington on February 22, 1732, and Douglass on February 1818. But there might be more going on than what is easily seen. February was a significant month for Woodson due to its long-standing traditions. Following President Lincoln's assassination in 1865, both Republicans and the Black community began celebrating his birthday. Meanwhile, the Black community all across the nation had been celebrating Douglass's birthday since the 1890s. Woodson used these established celebrations as a foundation for a larger goal. He created Black History Week, formerly known as Negro History Week, to honor the Black community's past. Rather than establishing a new tradition, he encouraged people to broaden their studies of Black history and culture. Despite Woodson's admiration for Lincoln and Douglass, he didn't fully support the celebrations dedicated to them. He believed that history was shaped not just by great men, but by the people. Although Lincoln made efforts to expand the rights of African Americans, it was the Union Army troops, composed of almost 180,000 free Black men and escaped slaves, who actually freed them. Therefore, Woodson emphasized the importance of focusing on the countless Black women and men who made significant contributions to the cause. Black History Month originated from Black History Week in 1976. The celebration gained popularity nationwide, especially in schools, thanks to the efforts of Carter G. Woodson. Despite Black people educating the youth about their history for decades, new and crucial textbooks like The Negro in Our History, 1922, and From Slavery to Freedom, 1947, were published in subsequent years. Woodson's Negro History Bulletin was also available in public education centers and churches. The 1920s saw the rise of the new Negro, a term used to depict the post-World War I age, who showed racial pride and acknowledgement. With the rise of industrial development and urban growth, over 1 million Americans moved from rural areas to big cities. This led to the expansion of the Black middle class, who became significant consumers of Black literature. As demand for Black history material grew, teachers demanded more educational resources, and business owners began owning Black history clubs, with white supporters also joining in. To keep up with demand, Woodson and ASALH created a yearly celebration with a specific theme. Teachers received new and improved study materials, including pictures and useful lessons. People also staged plays and put up posters of significant people and dates to commemorate historical moments. Historically, Black educators considered Black history an essential part of United States history. Some reports suggest that during the Civil Rights Movement in the South, teachers would conceal Woodson's textbooks under their desks to avoid attracting unwanted attention from the principal. As access to knowledge improved, high schools in various communities established Negro history clubs. ASALH broadened its branches to reach a more extensive audience. And as the number of Black Americans grew, mayors issued proclamations for Black History Week. Looking ahead to the 1940s, before his death, Woodson believed that the week-long festivities would eventually come to an end. However, the story of Black history and the remembrance of past struggles would continue. Woodson saw Black History Week as a means to showcase what students had learned throughout the year, emphasizing that African Americans should learn about their past every day. He looked forward to a time when annual celebrations would no longer be necessary. The civil rights movement of the 50s, 60s, and 70s addressed another defining moment for individuals of color. Students walked out of classes to demand Black history courses, and social movements gained momentum. This shift led to a significant change in the way Black history was taught, with a focus on the events and experiences of everyday people. When Black History Week officially became Black History Month in 1976, the Black Power movement took on a renewed focus on the distinctive experience of being a Black person in America. Today, different nations like Germany, the United Kingdom, Canada, and the Netherlands also honor individuals of color and their social and historical contributions. How do people celebrate Black History Month today? The Black Power movement has evolved and raised awareness about Black identity and the many overlooked achievements of Black Americans throughout history. Individuals are discussing Black history and recognizing significant figures like Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, Marcus Garvey, Sojourner Truth, Martin Luther King Jr., and others. There are many things happening to support Black youth, like showing movies, setting up displays in museums, and starting nonprofit groups. Local organizations, schools, and cities host various events to commemorate Black History Month. Black History Month transcends national boundaries. Germany and Canada celebrate the event in February alongside the US, while the UK, Netherlands, and Ireland hold their own Black History Month celebrations in October. In Brazil, November 20th is designated as Black Consciousness Day. Every country celebrates this occasion differently. In Germany, there have been a recent surge of events organized by Black organizations, institutions, and individuals that focus on highlighting the importance, awareness, and recognition of Black life in Germany. While the USA is considered the origin of Black History Month, discrimination and racism towards Black people in Germany have also become issues of concern, prompting a widespread effort to rally against racism. Black History Month was officially recognized in Canada by the House of Commons in December 1995, and every February, cities across the country hold festivities and events to celebrate Black Canadians. One such example is Eleanor Collins, a pioneer in both television and music, who became the first Black artist in the region to host a nationally broadcast TV series. Her career not only created connections, but also raised funds for charity and local organizations. Many other Black Canadians have contributed over the years, and their accomplishments continue to inspire the youth today. At the point when Black History Month initially began in the United Kingdom, there was a weighty accentuation on Black American history. In any case, as the years have gone by, more consideration has been paid to Black British history and the significant Black figures from the UK. These incorporate Dr. Shirley Thompson, Walter Toole Mallory Blackman, Olive Morris, and Lewis Hamilton. The selection of October as the month for the annual celebration in the UK, Ireland, and the Netherlands has several symbolic reasons. Firstly, this is the time when leaders and African chiefs came together to settle disputes, making it a suitable month to reconnect with the African roots of Black people. Secondly, with students back from their holidays, October presents a great opportunity to study the significant contributions and figures from Black heritage. Black History Month at first started as a method for celebrating occasions and individuals of dark legacy, respecting the victories and battles of African American families over the course of the U.S. Although Woodson chose February due to the birthdays of notable figures such as George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Frederick Douglass, it is also a month when important moments in Black history are celebrated. This creates an ideal occasion to pay homage to generations of African Americans who face challenges such as adversity, racism, and discrimination. Black History Month is a special time of year when we celebrate the important achievements and contributions of African Americans to American society and the world. It all started in the early 1900s when a man named Dr. Carter G. Woodson noticed that African American history was being left out of schools, and he wanted to change that. Now, Black History Month is celebrated all over the world, and it's a time for people to come together and learn about the struggles and successes of African Americans. From the Civil Rights Movement to today, we honor the people who have made a big impact on the lives of Black people, and we also celebrate the strength and resilience of the Black community. We know that there's still work to be done to make things more equal and fair, so we continue to fight for justice and equality for everyone.